It took me 35 years to understand that a life can be spent pouring water into a cup that never intended to hold it. I was born into a family where tomorrow's breakfast was never certain. Some mornings we woke up hopeful, other mornings we woke up hungry. My parents worked hard, but poverty followed us like a stubborn shadow. Still, we were happy in the simple way poor families often are: laughter around a small meal, stories in the evening, and the warmth of knowing we had each other. Then, one afternoon, everything ended. The accident took both of them instantly. People said it was quick, that they didn't suffer, but those words never comforted me. All I knew was that when the sun set that day, 3 children were left alone in a world that suddenly felt too large and too cold. I was 15. My brother was 10. My little sister was 7. At first, we thought our relatives would take us in. After all, blood is supposed to mean something. But doors closed faster than they opened. Some said they already had too many responsibilities. Others avoided us completely, as if our misfortune might somehow infect them. That was the day childhood ended for me. I became the parent. I stopped going to school and started hawking goods on the streets. I sold anything I could carry: fruit, snacks, cheap household items. Under the burning sun and in the pouring rain, I walked through crowded roads, calling out to strangers who rarely looked me in the eyes. Every coin mattered. Those coins bought rice. They paid school fees. They bought notebooks and uniforms so my siblings could sit in classrooms I had once dreamed of returning to. At night, I cooked for them, helped them with homework the best I could, and listened to their small worries. When they slept, I often stayed awake staring at the ceiling, wondering if I had done enough to keep our fragile life from breaking apart. Years passed like this. Many men came asking for my hand in marriage. Some were kind, some were patient, and some even promised they would help care for my siblings. But I always said no. How could I leave them when they still needed me? How could I start my own life while theirs was still being built? So I kept walking the streets. I kept sacrificing pieces of my youth without thinking twice. Slowly, the sacrifices began to bear fruit. My brother grew into a bright young man who excelled in school. My sister became determined and hardworking. Watching them succeed felt like watching 2 trees grow from seeds I had protected with my own hands. The proudest days of my life were their university graduations. I remember sitting quietly among the crowd, clapping until my hands hurt, tears streaming down my face. In those moments, every sleepless night, every rejection, every drop of sweat felt worth it. They found good jobs afterward. They began to build comfortable lives. Their voices sounded confident, like people who finally belonged to the world. For the first time in 20 years, I thought about myself. But somewhere deep inside me, a small question had begun to grow. Did they truly love me the way I loved them? Or was I simply the ladder they had used to climb? One day, I decided to find out. I asked my best friend to help me with a small test. She called my siblings and told them I was in the hospital. She said the doctors had discovered something serious and that I needed a major surgery immediately. The surgery required money. When she finished explaining, there was silence on the phone. Then came the excuses. My brother said he was currently handling a big project that had consumed all his savings. My sister said she had financial commitments she couldn't abandon right now. They both sounded worried, but their words never reached the place where action begins. Still, they came to the hospital. They stood beside my bed and looked at me lying there, pretending to be weak and exhausted. I watched their faces carefully, hoping, praying, that something would change. But nothing did. Not once did they say, "Don't worry, we will find the money." Not once did they offer even the smallest sacrifice. After 2 weeks, I invited them to my house. They arrived with concerned expressions, asking about my health. I sat them down and calmly told them the truth. There had been no illness, no surgery. It was only a test. For a long moment, no one spoke. The room felt heavy with something that could not be named. Then the apologies began. My brother said he was sorry. My sister said they had panicked. They promised they loved me and begged me to forgive them. I listened quietly. 35 years of my life had been spent feeding them, protecting them, believing that the love I gave would one day return to me in equal measure. But that day, I understood something painful. Sacrifice does not guarantee gratitude. Love does not guarantee loyalty. And sometimes, the people you build your entire life around may never realize the price you paid for their happiness.